Let's be honest about LA Knight, because I was honest with myself when I came to terms with this. Now, as a LA Knight fan, I understand that this guy is over for a few different reasons, and it's not necessarily his in-ring style. It's because he's charismatic. He's got great promos, and he's also got some catchy catchphrases like, yeah, and let me talk to you. But you got to keep in mind that LA Knight, he's gone through it. He's gone through the ups, he's gone through the downs. His NXT run from 2021 to 2022, portraying a cocky and outspoken heel, ultimately leading to him winning the $1 Million Championship in a feud with Cameron Grimes before making it to the transition of the main roster. From 2022 to 2023, he was rebranded as Max Dupree, the leader of the Maximum Male Models, but quickly returned to his LA Knight persona under Triple H because, well, Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with it. His rise in popularity in 2023 gained a massive crowd support with his promo skills and charisma. He also had feuds with Bray Wyatt, The Miz, worked the Money in the Bank ladder match, and also got to team with John Cena at Fastlane. Then, in late 2023, things, well, they went a little south for him. Sure, he entered the main event scene and had a feud with Roman Reigns, challenging for the undisputed WWE Championship at Crown Jewel 2023, but he fell short. Continued to be one of the most over superstars on WWE's main roster. He then went into a feud with AJ Styles at WrestleMania and then the Bloodline. Now, 2024, he remained a fan favorite and ultimately won the U.S. Championship from Logan Paul at SummerSlam in a pretty notable match. Unfortunately, though, his championship reign was lackluster, defending it in open challenges, feuding with Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade, working a triple threat match at Crown Jewel, ultimately losing said championship to Shinsuke Nakamura at Survivor Series War Games. Now, in 2025, he started to rebound and achieve some notable success. Sure, he fell short at the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber, but on March 7th, he recaptured the United States Championship from Nakamura, marking his second reign with the championship. Fast forward, March 14th episode of SmackDown, he teamed with Braun Strowman and Jimmy Uso to go over Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu in a six-man tag. March 21st episode, we saw Braun Strowman issue a warning to LA Knight after becoming the number one contender for the United States Championship. And now LA Knight, is about to defend this title against Strowman on the March 28th episode of SmackDown. What do I mean by all this? I wanted to give you a recap of his history, a recap of his career, because I want to set the stage. As a guy that has legitimately followed LA Knight dating back to his TNA wrestling days, well, I'm a big fan. I loved his feud in NXT, and I thought he should have won the 2024 Royal Rumble, going on and capturing the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. Now, obviously, that did not happen. But I've sat here and I said, okay, I think LA Knight has the potential to be a world champion. But I also think we need to start to be honest with ourselves. We have to look at what WWE has been able to do with LA Knight, his booking, and where they position him on the card. This is where I think we have to be honest. This is what I think we have to admit. This will make the haters just absolutely gooey happy, and the fans, well, it's a little bit of a letdown. But I want to circle it back with a little positivity. I think LA Knight is an upper card talent, but I do not see him being a main event world championship material guy. That is not to say that I don't think LA Knight can win the world title. I think he absolutely can. But I also think he falls in the same category of a Jey Uso, where he's slated to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Sure, he's likely to win the title at that event, but I don't see him as a main event guy, and I don't think WWE sees him as that as well. I understand that in the eyes of the haters, if you will, LA Knight is a guy who just does catchphrases, and he's a ripoff of a hybrid between The Rock and Steve Austin, right? His mannerisms with Steve Austin, the ways that he carries himself, to the way that he speaks, which is like The Rock. But I think LA Knight is a guy who is older, right? He's on the other side of 40. But LA Knight's a crucial guy on your roster. He's a utility player who the fans love. And as long as you don't screw up his booking, I think he's going to be okay. I think you know that LA Knight's a guy that he has been able to adapt in any situation that's given. If you go back to his NXT days, well, he's coming in as a heel. a cocky heel, a serious heel. And then if you look at the Cameron Grimes feud, the $1 Million Championship feud with Ted DiBiase, that was more of a comedy type angle. That got serious as time went on, but there was a lot of comedic elements to that feud. And then you look at the horrific Match Dupree character, in which Vince McMahon decided that, well, LA Knight's going to be a manager now. That was god awful, but he actually made it work to a certain degree, even though there was no chance of it actually working. And then if you look at what he was able to do with Bray Wyatt as a heel, well, he got more serious, and then he transitioned to a babyface. So, like, you can see anything that WWE asks of him, he's going to be able to do it, and not only do it, but do it at a very, very high level. And I think the more guys that you have under contract like that, and I think that's one of the reasons that WWE's product is as hot as it is because you have these types of people. Sure, you can have some of the, quote, best wrestlers in the world, but if they don't look the part, act the part, and have a fan base that supports the part, then I just think you have a bunch of talent. I also think that you have the argument to be made, and I feel like LA Knight falls into this category of, like, there's levels to this game. You have main event talent, you have upper card talent, you have mid card talent, and you have lower card talent. Lower card talent, it does not matter whether or not they're on the roster or not. They're not going to make an impact on ratings, they're not going to make an impact on social media engagement, nothing of the sorts. Your upper card talent, you need those types of people because not only they serve two purposes, and I feel like LA Knight's this guy. Not only do they bring some star power to the equation, but if you need a main event, if you need a championship challenger, well, they can serve as that. They may not win the title. The fans may not believe that they can win the title, but they can at least contest for the championship, be put in the main event scene, and the wheels continue to move. Okay? Then you have your mid-card talent who is trying to make it to the upper card. Well, you need mid-card talent to work with upper card talent. You need to be able to see if the mid-card talent can make the transition to being an upper card talent. And you need upper card talent who is maybe not a main event guy to be able to test and prove that the mid-card talent can get over to being an upper card guy and potentially a main event guy. That's another crucial element to an upper card talent, and it's another crucial element to the LA Knight. So if you need a main event, if you need a main event program for a world title, well, LA Knight's there. If you need someone to bring up someone from mid-card talent to upper-card talent, or to see whether or not they're even upper-card talent potential, well, LA Knight is right there. You need someone that has some notable star power, notable name, some charisma, some it factor, can move a number here and there. Well, LA Knight's your guy. So I don't look at it as, well, LA Knight can't be a world champion. He can't be a main event guy as necessarily a negative. I look at it as, hey, you're going to be consistently used on television. You're going to consistently make a lot of money. You're going to be used in the right ways. You're going to find some success. You're going to have longevity. To me, that sounds pretty good if you're LA Knight. Yeah.